Imagine standing in a silent museum, and suddenly a voice speaks directly into your ear. You take one step to the left, and the voice completely vanishes. Nobody else heard a thing. That sounds like a spy movie gadget, but it's entirely real, and it's completely legal. From machines that pull drinking water out of thin air, to software that lets you vanish from the internet, the line between science fiction and consumer electronics is officially gone. I'm Mike with List 25, and these are 25 inventions that seem too good to be legal. Let's get into it. 25. Parametric audio. The technology creating that invisible voice I mentioned in the intro is called a parametric speaker. It modulates sound onto an ultrasonic wave that your ears cannot pick up. As that beam travels, the actual physics of the air breaks it down into audible sound, but only inside that tiny narrow path. If you aren't standing directly in the beam, the sound technically doesn't exist yet. The military uses high-intensity versions of this for crowd control, but you can just buy the commercial version right now. 24. Signal Messenger. If the government demands your text messages, your cell provider hands them over. That's how the world works. Unless you use Signal. It generates a brand new encryption key for every single message, and the company never holds those keys. When the governments show up with court orders, Signal literally cannot comply because the data doesn't exist on their servers. They can only tell the court what day you created your account. 23. Hardware wallets. This created a level of financial control that courts have never dealt with before. Normally, a judge can order a bank to freeze your funds. A hardware wallet stores the keys to your cryptocurrency on a physical chip that never connects to the internet. There is no bank in the middle to serve a warrant to. The only person who can move that money is the person holding the physical device and the PIN. 22. Decentralized Finance. Regulators are actively losing their minds over this one. Decentralized finance protocols let people trade digital assets using automated smart contracts. There's no human broker, no company headquarters, and no customer service department. It's just raw code executing trades on a blockchain. Existing financial laws rely on punishing the middleman when things go wrong. But here, there is no middleman to punish. 21. Burner emails. Every time you give a website your email for a free trial, you are feeding a corporate data profile. Burner services fix that by generating a temporary inbox that receives the verification link and then permanently self-destructs. Privacy laws actually support this, but things get into a legal gray area when people use them to endlessly exploit free trials and bypass system bans. 20. The Flipper Zero. It looks like a retro Tamagotchi, but it can interact with almost any wireless signal around you. Garage doors, Bluetooth, and RFID sensors are all vulnerable. It was built for cybersecurity professionals to test network vulnerabilities, but curious hobbyists started buying them up. It freaked out the Canadian government so much, they temporarily seized shipments to try and figure out how to handle it. 9. Faraday Bags. Drop your phone into one of these and it immediately drops off the face of the earth. A Faraday bag is lined with conductive material that completely blocks all cellular, GPS, and Wi-Fi signals. People buy them to stop thieves from hacking their wireless car keys. It's perfectly legal to own one, but using it to block a court-ordered GPS tracker on your vehicle is a great way to catch an obstruction charge. 18. The Tor Browser. The US Navy originally built Tor for secure government communication, and now anyone can download it for free. It bounces your internet traffic through a random chain of volunteer computers worldwide. No single computer in that chain knows both where the traffic started and where it's going. It makes your browsing history effectively anonymous, which is great for journalists and highly convenient for criminals. 17. The Longevity Mirror. This sounds entirely made up. Neurologix built a mirror that records a 30-second video of your face and spits out your blood pressure, cardiovascular risk, and biological age. It uses an AI system validated in actual clinical studies. The reason they can sell an $800 medical scanner without heavy FDA clearance is a legal loophole. They classify it as a wellness device that provides guidance, not a medical instrument giving an official diagnosis. 16. Smartphone thermal cameras. Seeing heat signatures in the pitch black used to require restricted military gear. Now you can buy an attachment that plugs straight into your phone's charging port for a few $100. It lets you see exactly where people or animals are hiding in complete darkness. People use it to find plumbing leaks in their walls, but the hardware capability is the exact same. 15. Infrared illuminators. Thermal cameras read heat. IR illuminators do something much sneakier. They flood an area with invisible infrared light. To the human eye, the room is pitch black, but to a security camera, it looks like broad daylight. You can light up an entire property, and anyone standing there will have absolutely no idea they are completely visible. 14. Atmospheric water generators. It's just applied physics. When warm, humid air hits a cold surface, it releases moisture. These machines do that at an industrial scale, pulling gallons of clean drinking water directly out of thin air every single day. MIT is even working on a window-sized version. It entirely removes the need for pipes or groundwater. 13. Aquaporin Filters. Your kidneys are the most efficient filtration system on the planet. A Danish biotech company figured out how to extract the microscopic proteins your kidneys use to filter blood and embedded them into industrial water filters. They literally copied hundreds of millions of years of evolution. The result is a filter that blocks almost every contaminant while using significantly less energy than standard reverse osmosis. 12. Balcony solar panels. Renters are usually locked out of the solar power game, but Germany recently legalized a massive workaround. You can buy a small solar panel kit and plug it directly into a standard wall outlet on your apartment balcony. A microinverter syncs the power and immediately starts feeding electricity back into your home's grid, instantly lowering your electric bill with zero professional installation required. 11. Open source seeds. When farmers buy commercial seeds, they have to sign contracts promising not to save any from the harvest for next year. It's a subscription model for nature. The Open Source Seed Initiative completely hijacked this by releasing seeds with a viral legal pledge. If you use their seeds, you can breed and share them all you want, as long as any new plant you create stays completely free for everyone else forever. 10. AI blood analysis. We talked about the mirror reading your face, but this AI goes straight for your blood. Platforms like Ultrahuman take your standard blood test results, cross-reference them with the sleep and heart rate data from your smartwatch, and constantly update your health profile. It's a machine processing 100 different biological markers to tell you what's happening inside your body. It avoids intense medical regulation by very carefully never using the word diagnosis. 9. Glowing plants. I'm not talking about a plant under a blacklight. I'm talking about a genetically modified petunia sitting on your desk, emitting a green glow in the dark entirely under its own power. Scientists spliced a gene pathway from bioluminescent mushrooms into the plant. The USDA reviewed it, shrugged, and said it was fine. You can literally order a glowing plant online right now for $30. 8. The USB killer. It looks exactly like a standard flash drive. When you plug it in, it rapidly draws power from the computer, stores it, and immediately fires 200 volts back through the data lines. It fries the motherboard instantly. A security researcher built this to prove that public charging stations are a massive physical vulnerability. Now, anyone can buy one. Owning it is legal, but plugging it into a Starbucks kiosk, absolutely a crime. 7. Sound masking systems. If you want to make a room private, your first instinct is to make it quieter. That's actually the exact opposite of what works. Sound masking systems pump a highly specific frequency of pink noise into an office. Once that background hum reaches the volume of human speech, your brain physically loses the ability to isolate conversations. You can see someone talking 10 feet away, but you can't understand a single word they're saying. It's standard in law firms and hospitals. I honestly can't decide if working in an office with one of these would be peaceful or totally maddening. What's the absolute most annoying sound you have to deal with at your job? Drop it in the comments below, because office small talk might actually be worse than the pink noise. 6. Tactical pens. It's a ballpoint pen. It writes with ink. It's also machined from solid titanium with a tungsten tip designed to shatter tempered glass. The TSA aggressively confiscates them because they're essentially armor-piercing impact weapons hiding in plain sight. But outside of an airport, there are zero laws against carrying one. Nobody has bothered to write legislation banning a pen. 5. Laser microphones. You are standing hundreds of feet away from a building, pointing an invisible infrared laser at a window. Inside, 2 people are talking. The sound waves from their voices create microscopic vibrations on the glass. The laser reads those exact vibrations, bounces back to your receiver, and perfectly reconstructs their conversation. You just eavesdropped through a solid wall from down the block. Using this to spy on people is highly illegal, but anyone can buy the hardware. 4. Lockpick sets. The mechanics of a standard padlock haven't really changed in decades. A key just aligns a row of spring-loaded pins at the exact right height. A lockpick does the exact same thing, just manually. Anyone with an internet connection can buy a professional kit for $20. There's actually an entire competitive sport built around picking locks for time. Owning them is completely legal. Taking them to your neighbor's front door is burglary. 3. OSINT Tools. Every single thing you've ever posted online is sitting out there. Individually, a tagged photo or a public employment history means nothing, but open source intelligence tools like Maltego act as a vacuum. What would take a human detective weeks of digging, this software accomplishes in minutes. It automatically scrapes the internet, cross-referencing your social connections, maps your daily patterns, and builds a comprehensive profile of your life. The scariest part is that these tools don't hack anything. They only grab information you willingly made public. 2. Commercial spy satellites. Taking a high-resolution photograph of any spot on Earth at any time of day used to be a superpower strictly reserved for national intelligence agencies. Now, it's just a commercial service. Companies use synthetic aperture radar satellites that bounce microwave radio waves off the planet's surface. Cloud cover doesn't matter. The pitch black of night doesn't matter. If you have the budget, you can buy satellite imagery sharp enough to count the cars in a specific parking lot halfway across the world on demand. 1. Laser jammers. When a cop points a laser speed gun at your car, it fires a pulse of infrared light to calculate your speed based on the reflection. A laser jammer detects that incoming beam and instantly fires back its own blinding pulse of light. It overwhelms the police gun with garbage data, and the officer just gets an error message on their screen. Federal law explicitly bans radar jammers nationwide, but because the law was written before laser tech became standard, laser jammers fell through a massive loophole. They're completely legal to own and use in the majority of American states right now. Some of these sit in a legal gray area, and some are just waiting for lawmakers to catch up. But the line between top secret technology and consumer electronics is entirely gone. Check out our next video, 25 inventions that killed their inventors, to see what happens when the tech fights back. As always, I'm Mike Estrin. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.